Now let's dive into what is scripting, how do we do it, what are the effects, and what does it really mean to our vision and to our goals, and why is it so important to add into our practice. Scripting is the act of writing a letter about your future life or your result line or your vision or your goal or really any situation that you want to go a certain way. It's writing about it and scripting it as if it's happening right now. So using the I am, it is, I feel in the present tense and talking about whatever result line or situation that you want to be, having it, like writing it as if it has played out that way and now you're telling the story of it. And this is important because it ties back into switching our filter. We visualized our goal and our vision line and our dream or the situation, and now we're not only going to be visualizing it to make it stick and become a belief and to change our filter, we're also going to be writing about it, right? We remember that when we write about something, we're using the left side of our brain, and the left side of our brain allows us to speak and express ourselves more fluidly and more honestly and with a lot more emotion, because that's what that side is for. So when we're trying to really connect to this, right, and feel 100 emotions and feel into the future, right, back up to week 1 and all those emotion skills, when we're writing it, it allows us to really express and connect to it in a way that just kind of speaking about it doesn't do. The things to remember with scripting is that, again, you always want to be talking as if it's happening right now. So if I was scripting about the way that I wanted the month of February to go or the way I wanted the launch of Aligned Ascension to go, I would be speaking about it and using terms and words that are talking about it as if it was happening right now. I would say something like, Aligned Ascension's launch was so wildly successful and it connected so deeply with all of the people that it impacted, right? So whatever it is that you're going to be scripting about, the number one thing to keep in mind, because that creates the belief. And the other key thing to remember when scripting is to always speak and to sneak in as many moments and emotions of gratitude and appreciation as possible. And there's actually mad proof behind the effects of doing this. When you're speaking from a place of gratitude, it releases endorphins and it makes you happy, right? And when you're happy, you're in a what we like to call a flow state. And when you're in a flow state, you're naturally happier and more uplifted. And when you're in that state, there's no more room left in your brain for doubt or fear or questioning. And that's kind of the main goal. You'd be surprised how many times I've had to stop and restart because the cars and the motorbikes are so insanely loud. It's crazy. And that's kind of the overall goal here, is that you want to believe it. We want to connect to it. Part of creating our practice and scripting is really connecting to and believing the things that we are saying and speaking them into existence and making our mind create them as a memory so it pulls those things in, right? We're changing our filter. Say you're going to meet your boyfriend's parents for the first time and you're super nervous. Script that situation. And this is what I mean. You can script about anything. You can script about a promotion at work or a big speech that you have that you're nervous about. Whatever you want the result to be, script it like it has already happened. You need to use as much emotion as possible, right? That's the point of writing, is that we're using as much emotion as we possibly can so we're more connected. Our brain makes memories when our emotions are tied to them. So before we move on and we start really creating our practice, I want you to script the way that you want this practice to impact your life. Script about how you want to feel every morning when you wake up and you're implementing and applying all of these things that we've been working on and learning in the past 4 weeks. Script about how good it feels. Script about how you feel about yourself, how you feel the relationships in your life changing. Script how you want it to be so that when we create our practice, right, you have all these positive feelings. Because maybe right now you're feeling like you don't really have that much time, you don't really, this is more work than you wanted, and you'll like take a break and you'll come back to it or whatever. But the thing is if we don't apply these things in our life right away and do them every day and make them the new habit and the new pattern and the new way that we live and see and think and act and feel about our life, we're never gonna reach our result line, right? So now we have all the tools, and now's the time we get to apply them to our life every single day. And that's the power of creating this practice. So script right now about how good it feels to commit to it, how good it feels to wake up in the morning and have such a strong pull and desire and commitment to yourself growth and the things that you want out of life. How good does it feel to finally be doing those things? And how are the relationships in your life changing now that you're making your happiness and your health and all the things that you want a priority? How have your boundaries impacted your life in a good way, right? So right now, script about how you want this practice, this new daily practice that we're gonna have, how good it feels in your life.